Hello, Rosalind.
Hi, so good to see you.
Me too, me too.
Been a little while.
Yeah, I'm glad that we are still in contact now that we are back to our hometowns.
I know. And how long ago did you move? Because you moved, what? Did you move at the beginning of the pandemic or?
It was right like a couple of months after.
That's right, because I remember thinking that was quite brave. I was surprised you'd managed to do it. It took me quite a while longer.
Yeah, the thing is that I already had that time to get out of the apartment, so it's like it was already planned for that date.
Yeah. Then again, you were there. How long were you there? It was supposed to be 6 months. Weren't you there longer?
I was supposed to be for a year.
Oh, a year. Okay. I mean, I was there 15 years, so
Wow.
had a whole house to deal with.
Do you remember when we met, like, and how we met?
Well, yes.
Isn't it funny? Like, we are such a good friends now, and I wouldn't imagine.
No, it's so funny because we were two people in LA from different countries, there for different reasons, different lengths of time. But yeah, because I used to do Airbnb and you were one of my Airbnb guests
Yeah.
who came to stay.
I remember when I went to LA, the first weeks, I didn't have a place, a long-term place. I was in Airbnbs. I was looking for, and do you remember like my first attempt to book your place?
Well, you didn't actually book it, did you? You wrote me, which happens. People inquire about the room and that and the other. But I got this message from you, and I was in Yosemite driving my mum around Yosemite with very little signal by the time you get into certain parts. And I was getting these messages from you and like saying to mum, hold on, I'm just going to pull over a minute because I just got another message. Need to reply before we hit the valley for the day because I won't be able to get anything. And we were going back and forth, and you were asking me various questions about the room, and then at the end of it you went, oh, anyway, I booked somewhere else or something like that. And I remember like being like, who is this girl? So you booked somewhere else, and then what happened?
Yeah, I needed more time because I still didn't have a long-term place. So I was like, oh, but I remember there's a place near where I was. And yeah, I asked you again. And I'm glad
Well,
that it
I
was
think you just,
available.
I seem to remember you then just booking it, and I can't remember what the issue was first time. Maybe I wasn't close enough to the metro or something, so maybe you were looking for somewhere slightly closer. I can't remember what it was because you had to travel to Hollywood, didn't you,
Yeah.
daily?
Yeah, because
And
there,
I remember I was a mile one direction and 2 miles nearly the other direction to the two closest metros either side of where I was. But you figured out the bus that you could get from the top of the road practically that took you all the way there.
yeah, because I already had like a week taking the bus. So I was like, okay, so that will be okay. And yeah, it ended up to be a really pretty place. Like you have a peaceful room. It was really nice. And then we found out that we had so much in common, and we started talking and realizing that we are both into music.
Yeah. I think we found that out like right away, didn't we? Like very, very in the first couple of days.
Yeah.
Because you will have told me why you were there. I'm sure I will have asked you, why you were there. And you're like, well, you're studying at the Music Institute. And I was like, oh, really? Because I considered doing that. I considered leaving my job or taking a 6-week break just to do a certain course there. So when you were there, I was like, oh, wow, tell me all about it kind of thing. And so you were telling me all about your experience with music, which is also extensive. You're a very talented young lady.
Oh, thank you.
I remember you saying, I think the first thing I remember you telling me was that you were opera singer, or you trained in opera singing. And I was like, really?
Yeah, I actually those were my first lessons singing opera pieces.
We see, this is why I think you're probably such an amazing vocalist, because you've had that sort of classical training and the range and how to project. And of course, there are people that come along that just have great voices and can just sing. But I'm guessing one of the reasons why you're able to cross over so much and do so many different things, because you sing like you've done sort of jazz stuff as well, right? And I've seen some videos you doing that, and then your Airbnb and the pop. And did I say Airbnb? I meant R and B. I'm getting confused with Airbnb.
R&B.
I just made up a new genre, RBB.
I like that we get to a conversation on what about doing something together in like playing a piece together. And I remember you recommending, what was it called? The Pachelbel
Pachelbel's Canon.
Canon.
Because I had the sheet music, so I just had the sheet music for the strings, of which the parts are quite high, but I knew you could do some of it because I knew you were an opera singer and I've done some singing, so I kind of know the range. So I was like, here, should we have a go at this? You'll just have to transpose some of the notes to the octave or two below.
Yeah, I remember that. So, I have the video. Actually, I had the video we
Oh,
recorded
you do?
together.
Well, I remember we did do a video of it, and which I still have, but okay then.
Let's watch it.
That's okay. This was perfect when you started. Could you hear the harmonics?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember how excited we were at the end because we'd finished exactly at the same. I mean, we communicated, right? That's what you do with music. But, and do you remember me saying you could hear like the harmonics? I don't think you can really hear them on the video, but you could hear them in the house.
Yeah.
Because you were, some of those higher notes, you were perfectly in tune, and with the violin and the resonance that it was causing those harmonics, which was amazing. And you were sight singing and you didn't even really know the piece, and you were sight singing a violin part. So yeah, I know it goes a bit funny in the middle. I remember that bit, like, because I think we maybe played it once or twice before we recorded it, and then we just went for it. We were like, let's just record it just for fun. And we were like, oh my God, it actually came out, and a few notes in the middle where, you didn't know them.
Yeah, and it was like, now that I hear it back, it wasn't easy. I was like, oh.
No, it's not easy to sight sing and play. We'd never played and sang together before. We didn't know like how it would go. Some people pay no attention to the other person. You got to be listening to the other person and stay together.
Yeah, so it was something different.
And I seem to remember we did that really early on, like within the first few days of you being there. So it was so nice just to have someone else musical in the house and be like, hey, let's just play around and do something. It's still a passion.
Mm-hmm. I remember like after I moved to my place that I found, we were still in contact. And I remember you invited me to a concert that you were going with a friend. And I'm so glad I said yes, because it was so fun.
It was Pink Floyd. Yeah. Do you still have the sunglasses?
Yes, so I have them here. I don't know if
you do? I did not think to have them here, but I do believe I know exactly where they are.
Oh, so I'll wait for you.
Because I keep them with I keep all my sunglasses together and glasses, so I know where they are, but they are upstairs. I'm just gonna have to run. I'll be back. Hold on. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
It was really fun, especially I remember we were with this group of people and they gave us actually the sunglasses, and we were like a group of 10 people, were we?
Yeah, about that, 8 or 10 or something like that. Yeah.
And they had a lot of decorations in pink.
And we were told to wear pink.
Yes.
Not least of all a certain recording.
Yeah, so I'm very happy that we did that and that you said yes. And I will play some videos of that.
Do you have one with the 5 shops? 5 shops.
it gives me this string, and you haven't even put a single E in there on the open string, I don't think.
My bad.
Sorry, pipe check.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, it strikes me now because I've heard the finished thing. It strikes me now like how sort of dry the violin sounds, because you're in that recording studio that's absorbing all the sound. So there's no acoustic to it, which obviously means for you mixing, you can do more with it. The other thing I remember is you getting all tearful when you heard it coming together.
Yes.
Remember, you were like, oh yeah, just, it's, your project's coming together, isn't it? It's something you've been imagining in your head the whole time, and then you hear it starting to come together and you're like, wow.
When you first hear it with MIDI instruments and then you can hear it with an actual violin, it's like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, that was fun. Gosh, that brings memories back, because do you remember me telling you I mentioned earlier that I was thinking of going to Musicians Institute. So, and I never did. And of course, it's such a big thing in Hollywood. If you're interested in music, then you'll know about it. And to get to go and do that and actually end up going to the Musicians Institute and recording there was, for me, it was great. And it was not that long before I left LA. So it really felt like, I don't know, like a completion of a journey or something, or something that got fulfilled, which was just really, really nice. So thank you for that.
I didn't know that, so I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad then. Like now that I know that, it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.